sometimes you get vexed and you think that it's a joke business. But you have to do what I tell you. You have to do the work if you're going to pass this exam. Don't set up yourself. You get vexed and you think that. Don't set up yourself to fail. It's not gonna make any sense. I can tell you that much. It's not gonna make any sense that you set up yourself to fail. All right, do the assignments. Some persons are way behind because you're not doing the assignments. And I you just have to try. You know what I mean? You just have to try and do what you must do and get the job done. Do what you must do. Get the job done. All right, get the job done. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to be looking at bringing up some possible questions, and I'm going to use the live worksheets today. So we're going to just run through some measurement type questions. I'm going to just teach today because I know that's exactly what you want to do, teach. So I'm going to teach. But therefore, what it means then, if I'm going to do it this way, it simply means then that the live worksheets are going to be coming on another day. Then therefore, as I said before, that I normally would have increased the classes number of days, especially for mathematics and even in social biology. So we're in the period where we're going to be increasing the number of sessions for mathematics. And students, you need to do your assignments. You need to do your assignments. Lexi, can't have the same mistake twice. We cannot make the same mistakes twice. Assignments must be done, man. Especially those persons who are doing the exams, their assignments must be done. All right, so without any further ado, now we're going to go straight into some past papers now. And of course, sorry. I'm going to go straight into some past papers now. I'm trying to finish at 9:30, so because I have my dinner to go and eat. Okay, I was multitasking while I was preparing to come online. So we're going to look at some measurement questions, some general measurement questions. I'm going to start from maybe, and the live worksheets may include some multiple choice questions as well. So please, get ready. So I'm going to freestyle and teach you and so forth. So let's get ready. Let's get ready and let's go. Now, as I showed you before, the exam itself gives you the formulas. As you can see, it gives you the formulas. Everybody see the screen? Is everyone seeing the screen? Is everyone seeing the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A bit small though.
Yes, please remember my class is an interactive class. All right, it's an interactive class. It's a dedicated class, interactive. Okay, so please, once I ask a question, just unmute your mic and answer. If you don't have anything in your background, they can unmute your mic and answer freely. All right, so here we go now. So as you can see, the exam gives you the formulas. So it simply means that you don't need to memorize them. You don't need to put them to memory. Only thing you need to do is to be able to know how to use them, when to use them. Now look at the first formula that says volume of prism of length. Once the word volume comes in, or even the word capacity, the same difference. As you can see, V is the abbreviation for the word volume, and A, the abbreviation for the word area, and H, the abbreviation for the word perpendicular. Now, when we talk about perpendicular height, it simply means a vertical line drawn from ground up. From ground up. Good. Now, just want to say before going further, just want we interact with YouTube viewers. Good night to those persons on YouTube. Special good night to you as well. We ask that you share the link with your friends and families who will be doing the exams this year. And I sincerely hope that if you are there, you could just put in the chat your name and where you're from, and so we can recognize you and welcome you to CDP Library Services. And of course, just to remind you, if the first time coming on, that we have a YouTube WhatsApp group, because we will not be streaming our classes free like that anymore, because we need your financial support to keep the school surviving. So therefore, you know, some days will be free and many days will not be free. All right. All right. So you're only going to see the delay feature, but you'll not get the live interactivity. And there's a lot, you will not only get access to just seeing a class live, but you'll also get access to the workbooklets that the students will be using each week. All right. So back to you guys in Zoom. So we said, so the volume of a prism is the area of the cross section. What do I mean by the word cross section? What do we mean by a cross section? Simple. If you have a cabbage and you cut the cabbage, what tell me about it? If you cut the cabbage in half, what you observe, ladies, you should be all play a role in the kitchen. But well, I have been cooking, so not just ladies alone, but I'm just saying. If you cut a cabbage in half, what you end up seeing? Can you describe what you say for me, please? Cut a cabbage in half. What you see? If you're speaking, Caroline, your mic is muted. If you cut a cabbage in half, what you end up seeing? No, you never cut cabbage in half? Yeah, go ahead, Caroline.
Sir, when you cut it, you say, wait a minute, I wouldn't describe it. I don't know what to describe it as. Probably lines or whatever.
No, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see.
What I say?
When you cut your cabbage, what you see?
It's not more than the inside of the cabbage cut in half.
Okay. Don't see anything else? Don't see a shape? You don't see a shape? Never cut a cabbage yet? All right. Next time you cut a cabbage, take a good look at it and try to describe it. Right? But you find some form of shape, right? You find some form of shape. All right. Lexi says 2 halves of cabbage, right? So you will find out how you cut the cabbage. You see. So that smooth part that you see is really what we call a cross section. All right. Good. All right, so we look at the volume of a cylinder. We know what a cylinder looks like. You know, when we looked at earlier in our measurement classes, like when Makeda made the video and Ramirez made the video, we'd have seen, welcome to maths class again, Joanne. You'd have seen that cylinder look like a cylindrical, like a can. You get that you get your baked beans in. Those are cylinders. But those persons who drink Irish mush, those are cylinders. For those persons who have, well, everybody will have a tissue roll. That's a cylinder as well, all right? And we're gonna do something about tissue roll sometime, not today though. Volume of a to find the volume of a cylinder, we talk about pi r square, and you should be able to jump out and recognize that pi r square is the area of the circle. And then h, so algebra is taking, you see some algebra taking place here. When you have things beside each other, it means to multiply. So if you have pi r squared h, it means you must multiply what? Pi times r times height. That's how you find the volume of a cylinder. Good. So r is the radius of the base and h is the perpendicular what? Height. And this list goes on. Volume of the right prism, volume of the right pyramid height. To find that, they give you the formula again. V is equal to 1/3 of the area times its height. So you find the area of the base times the perpendicular height, you divide it by 3. Circumference, 2 times pi r where r is the radius of the circle. Area of the circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. So the point is that I'm moving towards is that the exam basically gives you the formula. That's the point, right? For trigonometry, same thing is there. All right. So we're going to rush down into some measurement questions. That's what we're working on this evening. Measurement type of questions, right? Measurement type of questions. All right. So this is geometry. That's functions. Let's see if we can find a measure. Here we have a measurement question. All right. So tonight we're just looking at some measurement question. No. All right. So we see the diagram says, the question says, the diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a prism of length 30 centimeters. Now you don't have to kill up yourself and say, what is a prism? Because this is a prism. We're talking about this. But you have to use your eyes and be wise. Prism of length 30 centimeters. So basically, they're acting that this length is 30 centimeters. The cross section, WXY, is right here. So you realize when I cut the wood, you see that? You see that? That's like the cabbage, when they cut the cabbage, there's something like that. Like I think you said lines. You saw lines. So the cabbage is a good analogy. Agree or not? I don't agree. Was the cabbage a good analogy? Nobody answers. All right. All right. So it's a calculate now. So it says that the cross section is a square with an area of 144 square centimeters. So I am going to draw that on my board. So I want to go to my whiteboard now. Some persons love to see whiteboard teaching, don't it? Agree? So we're going to go to the whiteboard now. And let's see what we can do with our whiteboard. All right? All right. Now, if you're joining from YouTube, any student joining from a YouTube channel, please note that you must send your message through the channel itself. All right, so here we're looking at, so I'm going to draw about the prism now. All right, I'm not a very good artist, so please bear in mind. So I'm looking like this, right? Here it is.
Sir?
Yes.
I just wanted to see if you could hear me.
Come again, I'm not hearing her.
I just wanted to see if you could hear me.
Okay. All right, so here's a prism. And therefore, it's the lines right there. So they are saying to us now that the length of it, so we'll put back Z, put the W, put the Y, or put the X. So the length of it is this, 30 centimeters. Good. Everybody see it? You see it accurately? All right, look upside. Look upside down. Does it look upside down to you? I see it accurately. Let me know, please.
Accurate.
Accurately. All right, I want to ensure that I'm going to video settings and make sure that take it off the mirror. All right, so I guess I'm seeing it. Okay, good. So now they told us, now what I would have taught you in some of the videos that you'd have watched, and I've taught you that you must write down the information given. So they told about the area. And they said that the area is 144 square centimeters. What are the information that they give that you could is useful in the question? What are the information did they give you that is actually useful in the question? Anybody?
Oh, the 30 centimeter.
All right, okay. So if you want to put that, which is the length, they say it's the length, right? What are the information they give you that is useful in the question? What are the information they give you that is useful in the question? So the diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a prism of length 30 centimeters. The cross-section WXYZ is a square with area 144 centimeters. What other information did they give you that is useful in the question? Anybody else? The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a prism of length 30 centimeters. The cross-section WXYZ is a square with area 144 square centimeters. What other information did they give you?
Sir, the fact that it's a square.
Thank you very much, Zabir. That is what this exam is about. Being observant. Being observant. Excellent. They told you the shape of the area, the shape of the thing, of the cross section, which is very important, the shape. So you have to make note of this thing, you know, because this information is key. It's key. So it's a square, right? It is a square. So you have to make note of that bit of information. Otherwise, you got problems. Good? Otherwise, you're going to have problems. Right? Excellent. So it's a square. 1 second here, please. Good. So the shape, identifying the shape is very important. I want to see why the shape is important. Because we know that if the area is 144 square centimeters, and we know the shape is a square, then we know how to find the area of a square. Good? What's the formula to find the area of a square? Anybody? What's the formula to find the area of a square? What's the formula to find the area of a square? Anybody? How do we find the area of a square? How do we find the area of a square? Come students, you have to talk to me. Lexi, unmute your mic and answer, please. How do we find the area of a square? Lexi? Friends who are watching on YouTube, you can put your answer in the chat. How do we find the area of a square? How do we find the area of a square? Nobody knows?
Sir, side times side.
Side times side. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zabir. Students, if you don't participate in the class, you're not going to learn anything. So I need you to participate. Unmute your mic and answer. Try. Even if you get it wrong, still try. All right? Now calling the name, unmute your mic, still answer, please. So to find the area of a square, good. So the area of a square is side times side, hence side square. Good. So we know that then side times side would suggest that there's the same length. Same length. So if this 144 is side times side, and it is suggesting that the lengths are what? Equal in the shape. The lengths are equal. So if they ask us to find the length of one side, then we'd have to then find the square root of the area. And what's the square root of 144? 12. So them can ask you that. So that's 12. Good. It's 12. All right. So let's go back now to the actual thing itself. Back to the question. All right. So here's the question now. They asked to find the volume now of the prism. Remember now the formula told us that the volume of a prism is the area of this cross section or the base times its height. Now, common sense, I will tell you that the length of them give must be the height because they give no other length. Must be the height. Or if or is it going to use, you can, if you want to use y and x as the height, but obviously and this as the length of the base and double x as another length. Either way, take it will be the same answer. Let's look at that. We know that double x is 12 centimeters. And we know that from here to here is 30 centimeters. Then what's the area of the base if we're using this part that it actually sits on? What will be the area of the base? By the way, what's the shape of the base? What is the shape of the base itself?
Square.
The shape of the base. Does it sit? It is sitting on double x and this length. It is actually sitting on that. So what would you consider the area of the base to be? How do we find the area of a, what's the shape of the base I'm asking?
A square.
No. It's not sitting on the cross.
Oh, a rectangle.
A rectangle. See, have a look at what it is sitting on. Good. It is sitting on a rectangle. So the area of that rectangle, how do we find the area of a rectangle? Huh? Length times? Length times width. So therefore, 12 times 30 is how much? What's 12 times 30?
Can you repeat? 360.
360. 360. And then, so that's the area of the base, 360 square centimeters. Now, if we are going to say that the height is from here to here, then the height is 12. So you see the reason why. Okay, Javon Barrett, I see that it's very good, Javon Barrett. You're correct right there. Javon Barrett is answering some questions there. Very good, Javon. So Javon said a rectangle, which was good, excellent, Javon. Javon Barrett says length times width, and Javon Barrett gives the area of the base. Excellent. Now, so if we are seeing that xy can be the height, because remember height is from what? Height is from base to top. So we're going to multiply that 360 now by its height. What's the answer for that? And Javon, could you tell us where you're from, please? Where are you from, Javon? Which country you're from and which parish you're from if you're in Jamaica? What's the answer?
4,320.
4,320. All right. So let's just go to my board now. Let's focus back on my board. So we're going to focus now back on my board. So we saw that we recognized that using the name of the shape was very important. That's a square. And the name of the shape told us then, okay, the area of a square is side by side. Then to find the length of each of the side, we'll find the square root. There's so much things, so much maths you have to carry out in one question for 2 marks. Yeah, man, one question. Now, if you were to still multiply, so the volume then, let's put that there. So the volume is equal to 12 times 360, sorry, 12 times 30, which is equal to 360. I will multiply that again by the height, which is 12, and our answer is 4,320. That's if we use from here to here to there as the base.
So you could have just said 1.4 times.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Zabir.
You could have just said 144 times 30.
I didn't hear what you said.
You could have just said 144 times 30.
Ah, good. So could we repeat another way? So could I also say, as Zabir said, if we said 144 times 30, would have given the same answer. So if you ask to find the volume of a prism like that, just multiply all the numbers then. 12 times 12 times 30. That's it. 12 times 12 times 12 times 30. I get the same answer. All right, so Javon Barge is from Manchester. Welcome to CDP Labs Services. All right, and if you're interested in joining the school, you can send me a WhatsApp message to 788-4348 from Manchester. Thank you for coming in. Hope you subscribe to the channel as well. So we have got our 2 marks right there. So guess what now? We never need to memorize the formula, because guess what? They give the formula in a list of formulas there. So you don't need to memorize it. You just need to know how to use it, when to use it. That's why I tell people, say use a textbook. Makeda answer and length times with it. Just coming out Makeda. That's why I say use your textbook for practice. You just need to practice how to use the formula. If you really want it at least a grade 3, practicing from your textbook is of vital importance. Vital. If you really want it at least a grade 3, practice from your textbook. I can only advise you, but if you don't follow the advice, you're on your own. Yes, I never do that one. All right, so moving on quickly to the other part of the question. All right, so we're going to look at now total surface area. We're going to focus now on the total surface area. How do we find now the total surface area of the same prism? Same prism. Now, to find total surface area, and in our lab class, which is our lab class is going to be on Saturday nights. So please bear that in mind. Our lab class is going to be on Saturday nights. All right. Okay, Makeda says she's 7 minutes away from where we are now. So you see, it is not nice to be on YouTube. So it's best to be in Zoom, where it's actually live and direct. All right. So when the question says total surface area, now we could use the words in the question to direct our path. Now the word total, what comes to mind when you say the word total? What comes to mind is the word total? Let me call on somebody I've not heard from as yet. Tracy. What is the word total? What comes to mind, Tracy?
Everything, sir.
All right. Which math symbol comes to mind? Which math operation comes to mind? Tracy, you same one. Total.
When you mean total, that means You add everything, sum up everything.
Very good. So you add everything. So pay attention to the words used in the question. Pay attention to the words used in the question. Right? You have to pay attention to the words used in the question. So total. When you talk about surface, what comes to mind? The word surface, what comes to mind? What comes to mind, the word surface? Talk to me. What comes to mind?
Top.
Go ahead, Carly. Go ahead. All right, so top. So you are you using it? Are you using it only the top alone as a surface? Anything else? Only the top alone?
No.
So what we mean by surface? Surface. We talk about surface. What are we talking about? We talk about surface. Not necessarily. Then don't just say one and don't just say top alone. So we talk about we talk about surface. By the way, what do you know about a surface? How would you describe a surface? How would you describe a surface? Can you have to know what that meaning now? How do you describe a surface? Well, I'm listening. Go ahead. Huh?
Like a cover.
Cover. Okay. Anybody else? Joanne, we'll talk about surface. What comes to mind? How would you describe a surface? The area you want to cover. All right. Let's say on them case. Flat. Anything that is flat is a surface. Right. The word is flat. So anything is flat. That is what we call a surface. Good. Anything is flat is what we call a surface. Now, let's look at the image now. Let's look at the image now. How many flat? Flat. Flat. So another word for surface is face. Face. The face. How many faces does this prism have? How many faces does a prism have?
6.
6 faces. You sure? Are you sure? 6 faces. All right, good. So, all right. Now, for me, when we're in the lab sessions, this is where I encourage, and Makeda would have said it, Ramirez would have said the same thing. What you do is ensure that you can use a toothpaste box and you open it out. And there's a 6 different flat surface. Right? So the 4, so you have used your imagination, 1 and 1 below is 2, 1 to the side 3, next one 4, and this 5, and another box 6. Let me ask a question now, a big fat question. What is it what is unique? Tell me one little observation you can say about the surfaces. Any observation about the surfaces? Think about the toothpaste box. Think about the toothpaste box. Any observation about the surfaces? So when it comes to the examiner, you have to try to link what you're seeing or what you're reading about to something real that you have experienced before. So you have to use your experience to get to understand what the question I'm asking for.
Sir, some rectangle, some square.
Some rectangle, some square. That's Joanne. Okay, all right. Yes, some rectangle, some square. So talk about the shape. How many of them are squares, Joanne?
4, sir.
Yeah, sure. 4 squares. You sure it's 4 squares? Think about it.
No, 2, 4.
2. Okay. How many of them are rectangles? Are straight rectangles?
4.
4. All right. Please bear in mind that a square is also a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Bear that in mind. All right. So, all right. So Joanne told us about the shape. 2 squares and 4 rectangles. But there's something like this, some other observation you must make about these faces. Some other observation, especially this one, especially this prism. What other observation you could make? That observation is key to calculating the surface area in a quick time. Talk to me.
The amount of squares and rectangles.
The amount of squares and rectangles. Not so much that. Something better than that. Bigger and better than that. Bigger and better than that. Come on, talk, think. What other observation could we make about the squares? Sorry, the shapes rather, the faces. So we know the shape.
The amount of faces.
The amount of, we know it's 6, but there's a much bigger observation than that. Think, come on, think. Think. Big business this man, come on, think. Got to do the job, student, got to do the job. Think. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. I want to hear, I'm trying to listen for the big observation. Come, big observation, come on. So we know so there's 2 squares, 4 rectangles. But what are the key observations we can make? What are the key observations we can make? Come on, talk to me. Where you say arms up here? What about the squares?
The square is marked.
The squares what?
Marked.
Marked?
It has a line going through.
No, man, because a square. No, man, that's the least observation. That's the least, man. Look good again. Think about it. No, I think, you know. No, I think, man, that's the problem. Think about it some more. Think about it some more. Me don't want to tell you. I want to think about it. Lexi, unmute your mic and answer the question. I don't hear from Kimura yet. Kimura, Miss Campbell, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what other observation could we make about the faces?
One of them is shaded.
Huh?
One of them is
One of them, what I mean?
one of them is shaded, sir.
No, we're not talking about that. That's the least. That's not going to do this. That's the least. That is a line. That is a line. We're not talking about that. All right. Trace is using an all-important word. Equal. What?
Sure, I just said they all have 4 sides.
They all have 4 sides. You mean them all have 4 sides? The measurement. What about the measurement, Nikisha? Come think. So we can use the naked eyes and see. You can use the naked eyes and see it. 1 second here. You can use the naked eyes and see it. All right. I'm not show off, but yeah, what inexpensive black decker iron. So I'm gonna show on the inexpensive black decker iron, right? What I have. All right, so here's my inexpensive black decker iron. See it? What is in it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I want you to do an observation. Look at this and look at this and tell me what you observe. Now you what? Oh, look at this and look at this and tell me what you observe. We're assuming.
Both sides are the same.
Go again. What was the answer a while ago?
Both sides are the same.
So this is the same. So I said that this and this and this are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so they are the same, right? They're the same, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have to go for the box which ones are the same.
I said
Yes,
they're
sir.
identical. What's the difference?
Come again. Where's
I said
Zabir?
they're identical. What's the difference?
Well, I didn't hear the word identical, but
Sir, what?
I didn't hear the word identical. I didn't hear it. I'm an old man now, so I'm not hearing very well. I'm talking a bit louder and clearer. But listen now. So if they're the same, what other word in mathematics does that means the word same? That means the word same. What other word in mathematics means the word same?
Equal.
Equal. So there are what? So how many faces are equal right here? So now?
4.
4. And you have the 2 equal squares then. Make sense? Make sense?
Yes,
So
sir.
you see now, you have to make the observations then, student. You have to make the observation then. Don't go in the exam and I scratch your head and I stretch it and I stretch it and I go so no. Use your eyes and your imagination. You have to use your eyes and your imagination if you're going to make it in the exam. That's what it's called for. Being able to use your eyes. Good? All right. So I'm seeing this Yvette Smith. I don't know who's Yvette Smith. Yvette Smith, could you state where you're from and which parish you're from if you're from Jamaica? I said that Javon Barrett is from Manchester. So Yvette Smith just saying equal length and equal width. I believe that's WIDTH. And that's a mistake, a type of error. So you have to use your imagination, students. Very important to use thy imagination. Let's get back to my board now, right? So good. So we see then that these 4 sides are equal. 4 faces are equal. So if I know the area of one face, I remember total now, you know. Total means almost add up all the faces them. That's why the word add total came in the question. Add up all the faces them. All of them. The surface, they are flat. The area, find the area of each flat surface. So we know the area of 1, 360. Good. So we're going to multiply that by 4 because all 4 of them is the same. They are equal. Then we know the square itself, which is 144. And it's 2 squares, so we'll multiply that by 2. So guess what? 4 plus 2 are 6 faces. So let's multiply the 4 times 360. Note, students, ladies and gentlemen, that Saturday nights will be our lab days, but you have to do the assignments. Have to do the assignments.
Sir, what do you mean by lab days?
Lab days means that some practical are going to take place. Yeah, so go back to what we did before. We're going to use the live workbook, live worksheets booklets. We use the booklets in class. So on Saturday nights, we won't go live on YouTube, but we're going to use a live worksheet. So we do work. Remember, you have to do. Remember, part of the plan is where to do work each week. Do work each week. But if you don't do the assignments, you're not going to feel comfortable. I do the work. Right? You have to talk to them. So let's go. So let's find it now. So 360 times 4. So this one is equal to 1,440 plus 288. What's the answer right there? So plus 288.
1,728.
1,700.
28.
1,728. So that is the total surface area. 1,728. Okay, I saw that Nikisha as well. All right, good. Very good. 4 marks. So the words in the being familiar with the words. Let's talk about the words now. Surface refers to all the flat faces that you can see and probably can't see, but use the imagination to go over the other side or at the back or underneath. It's there. Good. All right. So now we're going to move on to another aspect of the class. We're going to go back now to our question. Right. Let's get back to the question itself. Right. Use the mic on the first. Mic, please. All right. So now we're going to look at now back at the question again. Now this time a different shape. Can somebody read that question? Read that part for me, please.
The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows the sector of a circle with center O. Calculate giving your answer correct to 2 decimal places.
All right. So before we get to the question part, I asked the students to analyze the diagram. You know, don't just read and just run like that. Not, don't practice that habit. Break out of that habit. Don't, you understand? Get yourself familiar with the picture. And if it's only social words, draw a picture of the social word and get familiar with it. So you have a full understanding of what going on. Make sense? Everybody follow me? No. See, if you don't answer, better not go on YouTube. Not answer me. Please answer me. All right? Need to respond to me. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the diagram below not draw the scale. Now, I normally tell my students to draw it to scale. I have a trick that I use. I said, draw it to scale. Yeah, man. So we should get one long ruler. So if you draw it to scale, you can get the answer with ease. All right. So not draw the scale, it shows a sector. So it is saying to you that this shape is a sector. The shape here is a sector. Right? That's what it's saying to you, that the shape right there, it is an actual sector with a center O. Now, I was teaching my grade 9 students how to find area of a sector. But when we do the lab, in our lab sessions, we will now look more closely at ways, at some strategic way we can find the area of a sector. Now they can ask several questions about this. They can also find the length of MN, which is called the arc. And they can ask you to find the area of it. Now, what information have they given you, those who have experienced this already? What information have they given you about the shape so far? Just by way of looking at it.
So the angle and the 15 centimeters.
The angle and the?
15 centimeters.
What is the 15 centimeter? What is it?
Length.
Length? No, what's that length called? Is there a special name for it?
The height.
No, sir.
What's that?
The sector is a part of a what?
Circle.
Circle. So what would that line be then? And it's a center O. So what's the name of the line that runs from the center O? Eh?
Radius.
The radius. The radius. It's a radius. It's actually the radius. Good. It's the radius. Good. Now, the sector, what's the line MN called? What's the line MN called? What's the name of the line MN? What is it called? The line MN. What is it actually called?
Arc.
Arc. And the arc, what is the relationship between the arc and the circle? What part of the circle What name of the circle is the arc related to?
Sector.
What?
Sector.
No. What name of the circle is the arc related to? Circumference. Very good, Nikisha. Excellent, Nikisha. Nikisha, you learn the circumference. Of course. So the arc is related to the circumference. And here's the next. So what are we doing here? We are familiarizing ourselves with the shape by asking ourselves the questions, what do I know about this? So identify the radius. We identify that the arc is a part of the circumference. So we could say that the arc is a fraction of the circumference. Make sense? How can we, what information given in that shape we can use to determine what fraction of the circumference is the arc?
The angle.
Angle. Very good. Yes, Nikisha, very good. How could we use then? How would you use then that angle to determine what fraction of the circumference is the arc?
So
How would you use that?
45 over 360.
What says Zabir? Go ahead.
45 over 360.
No, I would do it that way. I would do it differently. What would I do with the 45?
Multiply it by the radius.
Yeah, no. We're talking about to find the length. No, we want to find an easy way, not subtract.
Sir, what you said? No, I thought you said fine line.
How can we use that 45 degrees to find the fraction? What fraction of the circumference is the arc? There's an easy way than just say 45 or 360. That's an easier way than that. Because even if you, even if you put 45 over 360, right? You still have to go do something direct into the lowest term, don't it? Don't it?
Yes.
So what would you have to do to find to write this lowest term? What would you have to do? All right, my kid, I see some responses coming in later. You're right, you're 7 minutes behind us. I see my kid is never the word.
45.
Divide what?
Divide 306.
Excellent. Divide 306 by 45. Of course. I would have done that. And then that would have to do is 8. So the circumference is basically divided into 8 parts. So MN is 1/8 of the circumference. So if you know what the circumference is, you will divide the circumference by what? 8. Bam, bam, to find the length of the arc. So simple now? That's how simple it is.
Sir,
Yes.
feedback. You say that divide 45.
No, you divide the angle of a circle by the angle of a sector. So the 360 degrees divided by 45. All right, that's all you find. That's all you in our lab section of the program. You want to see that for yourself. So make sure you have your geometry set ready in terms of your protractor, especially your protractor to measure angles, and your ruler, etc. All right. Get that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
No. All right. So basically that's how we don't find it, right? So we can say familiar with it now. See? Bam, 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 bam. The first question on the board, the length of the minor arc. So we have to find the circumference. We have to find the circumference. And the form to find the circumference was also given 2 pi r. Did they tell us what to use pi as? Did they tell us what to use pi as? No, they didn't tell us what to use pi. So we can use pi basically anything, right? So let's go to my whiteboard now. So we're going to find the circumference first before you can find the length of the minor arc. But one thing we do know is that we divide the circumference by 8. True? So circumference is equal to what? 2 pi r. And in some case, 2 pi d. So 2 pi r is what circumference is equal to. So circumference is 2 times pi, and if you so desire, you can use pi as 22 over 7 and radius as 15 over 1. Put everything over 1. Multiply everything all together and then divide by 7. So we see again now fractions in the making. That's why I wanted you to have a stable understanding of fractions. Students, you have to follow instructions given by the teacher. Don't if you're going to come to my class and cry like a baby, you're not gonna learn. Remember I told you that. I divide that by 7, and our answer is 94.3. But that's to the nearest 2 decimal places. So you could say 94. So C then is equal to 94.29. That is the circumference. But is that the answer? Is that the answer? Is that the answer?
No, sir.
No. Listen to me, man. When I need to answer when I ask a question, I beg. Jesus, please. So 94.29. So this is not the answer. What would I have to do with this 94.29 to get the answer for the first part?
Divided by 8.
Bam, bam. So it's the reason why we need to know what fraction. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I need to know what fraction it is. Hey, yeah, man. Class, this is it. All right, 94.29 divided by 8, and therefore the answer then is 11.79. So the answer for part 1 is 11.79. 11.79 centimeters. 2 decimal place. Again, that come back into the question, knowing about decimal places. Write a number correct to 2 decimal place. You see? Vital information. So I just want you to understand now that, you know, it is very important that you learn. You have to do that. Miss Williams, if you're not speaking to me, you need to unmute your mic. All right. Thanks. All right. So you see what's going on now. So yes, my kid is answering sector of the circumference. Eh? All right, there it is. So we're doing not so bad so far. Now let us now go back to the question again. Let's go back to the question again. We have 6 minutes left. Maybe we'll call it a day. Now you might be asking yourself the question, why is Mr. Bernard rushing through the question like that? So Bernard rushing through the question because Mr. Bernard wanted to let you understand that when it comes on to Saturday night classes, a your time that, not my time, but your time. I tell my students at Holy Trinity that 90% of the exam, preparation for the exam is theirs. 10% is mine. And I say the same thing to you. If you don't do the assignment, doing the assignment is a part of your 90%. Practicing from the textbook is a part of your 90%. Coming to class on Saturday, Saturday nights, preparing to do the live worksheets in the workbooklets is a part of your 90%. Now, when you come to the live session in Zoom, that's my 10%. So if all come to depend on my 10%, you just fail. Make sense, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can't say, I never tell you now. Organize yourself. We have seen in our HSB class that there's a lady who's 46, and 49, and she's a security guard, and she's a wife. Now you do the maths now, she find time to pass the exam in grade 2. Do the maths. There's no excuse on a God earth. People must come to me with not one excuse. Age is not an excuse. How much things you have to do is not an excuse. Because she's a security guard. You know how long security guard have to stand on the job. Hours. Hours. At a grade 2. First time doing CXC at a grade 2. No excuses. If you come with excuses, stop coming to class. This year we're going for way higher than 50%. Way higher than 50%. We're going, if it's not 100%, it will be 80%. No less than 80% pass this year for maths. Business matter. You know what you're doing. All right. So go to the next question now. As we close. Perimeter of the figure. What? Also the word perimeter. What does that mean? What does that mean? Perimeter, what does that mean? Perimeter, what does that mean? Perimeter, what does it mean? What does perimeter mean? What does perimeter mean? Talk to me.
The total length.
The total what? Go ahead, Lexi.
So I'm saying the total length.
What do you mean by the total length? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
So it's the total area around.
All right, total area around. But I don't want, not, it's not area, but total what around. It's another word.
Oh.
It's another word. It's another word. Total area around is another word. Not area, but another word. Total what around?
Distance.
Distance. Distance. Yes, Nikisha, got it. Total distance around. So once you know what perimeter mean, total distance around. Now, which lines, tell me where and where give us the total distance around. Where give the total distance around? Where and where? Come on, talk, no, man.
M-O-N.
There? Come again?
M-O-N.
M-O-N. So from M to O to N and N to M. Don't forget that part. So what are we going to do with this line and this line and this? What are we going to do with them? What are we going to do with them? No, not total circumference. Can't be that.
Sir?
Yes, Trish, go ahead.
All right. M to O and O to N are those two lines are parallel lines. So 15 that'd be over on the other side.
All right, it's not parallel, but equal. So 15 will be on the other side. So they're equal, not parallel, but equal, right? Okay. So 15 upon the other side, that's correct. So what are we going to do then?
We're going to add them.
What are we going to add?
add
Tell me what we're going to add now.
Sir, I think we already found the length of MN, right?
Good, yes.
So we're going to add the length of MO plus O. Add all of them together.
Add all them together. Yes, we are sure to answer that part. All right, I see one of my OFG students, Sue Leng. Sue Leng Cameron, welcome to CDP Labs, Sue Leng. So we can know so you join the class, Miss Cameron. Very good, Miss Sue Leng. All right, which line? What do you mean, which line? All right, so we're going to go to the camera now. Let's go to the camera now. So let's get back to the video now. So we say that this line right here, from here to here, is equal to this line. They are the same. The radius two rays are equal. So Tracy was correct at that. Very good observation, Tracy. Then we heard from Lexi that we had already calculated this. So we know the length of all the lines them now. Good. We know the length of all the lines. So when we add all the lines them together, total distance around. So I add 15 plus 15 plus 11.79, the 30 plus 11.79. So what's the answer right here? What's the answer right this? Okay. Very quick at it, Nikisha. 41.79 centimeter. That's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as we draw the curtains down now for the class, we draw the curtains down now. I want to recognize that assignments are very important. I don't want to take it for granted. Oh, thank you, Nikisha. I don't want to take it for granted that, you know, assignments are very important to be done. Don't take it for granted. If you do your assignments, just imagine this. Even if a 0 you're gonna get, do the assignment and submit it. That's my way of knowing if you're ready or you're not ready. That's my way of knowing what to look for, what to pay attention to when it comes to Saturday night classes. Right? So starting Saturday night coming 8 o'clock, we'll be working there, getting some experiments going on, getting the job done. The lab is important because that's where you build your reasoning power, build your visual. Good. And then you put in your practice. So you can't miss Saturday night classes. Have to try and do your assignments. Persons who are doing measurement, if you have to do over the measurement test to move on, then you have to do what you have to do to move on. Because you need to move on so you can get to the geometry and trigonometry part of it. Should have been there already. I'm moving ahead of the class. So by the time Mr. Bernard get to there, so you already prepare, you knock it easy. A grade 1 we're going for Lexi. You can't get it, you have to work hard. Right? And everybody's class will pass the exam if you follow the instruction. So as we close tonight, I got one feedback from Nikisha. Could anybody give me your feedback? Kimura, how was class for you today? How was class for you today, Kimura? How was class for you today, Kimura? Kimura, are you there? Are you gonna sleep? Miss Campbell?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How was class for you today?
It was good, sir.
It was good. All right. Miss Evans? Miss Evans, how was class for you today?
Sir, I'm not sure.
You're not sure as yet. I don't know why you're not sure, because you need to do your assignments, right?
Sir, assignment has nothing to do with it.
Oh, well, for me, I'm going to say there's a lot to do with it because I need to do your assignments. Yeah. All right. Tracy, how was class for you today? You two need to do some assignments. You're lacking with assignments, Tracy. You're lacking desperately with assignments. Your internet is perfect. I can recognize that from chemistry class and HSB class. Internet perfect. But therefore, give me some perfect. Give me some assignments now. No excuse. No excuse. All right, how was the class for you, Tracy? How was class for you today? Tracy, how was class for you today? All right, some persons drop off. All right. So I got from Nikisha, Tracy dropped off, and Lexi, you know that we're working towards something, you know why I'm pushing you. All right. So you have to, miss the boat this time, right? Good. So you have to know, try to get on to that thing itself. All right. So Saturday night, to ensure that you submit another assignment, each of it, for class Saturday night coming. Ensure you submit another assignment. Don't joke it up. Don't joke it up, please. Don't joke it up. We want this job to be well done. I'm going. It's a mathematics group 1, grade 1. No what? Group 1, grade 1. All right. So good participation, but we want it to be improved. Try. I know it's stressing for some person, but you have to eat healthy, exercise, drink a lot of water, eat a lot of energy-based food, and exercise so you can have the energy. Work together. I put study groups together. I don't know if people are working together. You have to work together. I put you in study group. The other person who has a study group is Miss Evans. So I try to place her in one of the study groups and so forth. All right. So you can push ahead. Miss Evans, please to remind to put in a study group so you can work with the other persons to move ahead. All right. All right. This is just so you may leave now. The class has not ended. You may leave. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good night.
Okay, good night. All right, so speaking now to my YouTube individuals, as I said before, persons who would like to join us live, just register with the school. Register with the school. If you want to find out how to register, you can send me a WhatsApp message via 876-788-4348. So you can WhatsApp me at 876 Jamaica area code 788-4348, or you can just visit our website at www.cdplabsservices.com. It was a pleasure teaching you guys. I know for those who are on YouTube, like, I see 5 likes, keep it going. Thank you, Javon Bart, for visiting us. Thank you, Makeda, as usual, and thank you. I've seen Car. Good night, Car. Good night. Nice seeing you again, Car. Nice seeing you as well, Suleng. Nice coming on, Suleng. I see that Javon says, thank you for this in-depth lesson, sir. I really appreciate it. You're welcome, Javon, and welcome. So if you want to join us on CDP Labs of the Services, we can join us in our Saturday night classes, which is not live. You can register and join the institution. And the cost of the class is very, very affordable. If you can pay a one-time fee of just $6,000. That's all. If you're a Jamaican, $6,000, and you don't pay after that. Yes, just $6,000. You don't pay after that. So if you want to join us on Zoom, get all the materials that the students are using, just register. Register. Have yourselves a big whopping good night. Take care. This is Mr. Bernard from CEP Labs Edu Services. Thank you.